When you write programs that draw pictures on the screen, there are a few little pieces of geometry that are so useful, you'll find yourself returning to them time and again. In the next few videos, I'll show you two of these techniques, which will be very useful as we expand the range of things we can do with curves. The first thing we'll look at is how to scale a line. Here's a little coordinate system, and suppose we have a line that starts at the origin and goes off somewhere. Well, we might want to make that line longer or shorter, and always make sure it still is traveling in the same direction. I'll show you how to do this very easily. Another thing we want to do all the time is rotate a line 90 degrees. Here's a line, and I might want to rotate it counterclockwise 90 degrees to make this line. But I also might want to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise to make this line, or I might want to rotate the line 180 degrees and make it go the other way. There's a wonderfully simple trick for finding the coordinates of these rotated lines, and I'll show you the trick. With these two tools, we can do something like this. Here's a little Catmull-Rom curve that goes through 4 points. I think of this as an egg. The egg is really defined by only 4 numbers. 2 of the numbers are the x and y of the point at the tip of the egg. 2 of the numbers are the x and y of the point at the bottom of the egg. The other 2 numbers control the egg's width and blobbiness by telling me where to find the control points on the left and the right. Here I've put the egg back into its original position. I can move the control points further away from the central axis and make the egg wider, and I can move the control points up and down the central axis, changing the shape of the egg. The beauty of this is that to find these control points on the left and the right, I really have to do very little work. I just apply the 2 techniques we just saw. Here's how I do it. First, I find the vertical axis of the egg. This is just the line from the bottom point to the top point. Now I find the line that is perpendicular to that one. Here it is in dark green, and you can see it's at 90 degrees to the main axis. The width of the egg tells me how much to scale that green line. Notice that the end of the green line is underneath the control points. So that tells me how far out I need to move. Now I want to determine how far up to move, so I add a scaled version of that central axis. Looking at the bottommost point, I move right by the green and up by the blue, and there's the control point. Same thing on the left. Starting at the point on the bottom, I move left by the green line, up by the blue line, and I find the control point. If I turn off the egg itself, you can see that this skeleton contains all the information we need to find the control points. We go out by the length of the green line, and we go up and down by the length of the blue lines. And I can move the top and bottom points of the egg any way I want, and everything comes along for the ride, which is really nice. You'll notice that the blue line and green line scale because those are expressed as a percentage of the length of the egg from its bottom point to its topmost point. So I can move this thing around, and it's really easy to find all those points. And then, of course, I can always draw the egg again. And here we are. We've got our lovely egg, and I can make it narrow. I can change its blobbiness just by using those 2 techniques I showed you before, finding the perpendicular to a line and scaling a line. So let's take a look at how to do those 2 operations.